Good evening. I will call to order the March 21st, 2023 Board of Directors meeting for Piedmont Community Charter School. Piedmont Community Charter School is a tuition-free K-12 school that offers a superior college preparatory education experience for this community and its families. Please join me in a moment of silence. Thank you. Item 3 on the agenda, public comments. Do we have any public comments?
No, sir.
Thank you. Item 4, awards and recognition. Ms. Killen?
Good evening, everyone. I do have some exciting news to share with you. 3 Piedmont students from the elementary campus placed in the Keep Gastonia Beautiful Arbor Day Art Contest. 3rd grader Gabe Gonzalez and 2nd grader Nike Edwards both placed first, and 2nd grader Alex Hendricks placed second. The Gastonia City Council will present our students with their awards at a reception this week. 2 of our high school students were accepted to the 2023 North Carolina Governor School. 11th graders Mayana Godlock for social science and Emma Pruitt for dance were selected through a competitive process to attend this residential program for gifted and talented high school students. Our middle school band performed at MPA for the first time in Piedmont's history. Our students represented Piedmont remarkably well, earning praise from judges and parents who were in attendance. We are very proud of them. Congratulations to 9th grader Victoria Pina Adamovichova, whose winning essay on Who is an Everyday Hero that brings out the optimism in you was chosen for the Optimist Club's district level contest. Victoria's winning essay is eligible for a $2,500 scholarship. Senior Grace East was selected for the North Carolina All-District Basketball Team. She finishes her basketball career with 1,161 points and is now Piedmont's all-time scoring leader. She was also named Metro 8 Conference Player of the Year for the 2nd year in a row.
That's awesome.
Give all of these great young people a hand.
That's great. Thank you. Item 5, approval of previous minutes. Does anyone have any comments or questions about the minutes from February 21st? Do I hear a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Motion to second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The minutes are approved unanimously. Thank you. Item 6, reports. 6A, Treasurer and Finance Committee.
Thank you, sir. I've got a couple of things to go over today. First of all is the budget report and the surplus and cash report. And then finally we'll need approval of budget revisions. I'm going to start with the budget report. You should have in front of you month-to-date activity. This is as of February 28th. Total revenue, $1,801,234.33 against total expenses of $1,640,840.06. Leaves a net surplus, $160,394.27, less other income. That was a decrease in our investment account, $58,732.33. Leaves us with a net surplus after investment, $101,661.94. Questions on that one? All right. Next is the surplus and cash report. As of February 28th, total cash operating the BB&T account, $3,017,420.18. Investment account, PNC, $2,374,210.29. Petty cash of $1,000. Total cash, $5,392,630.47. Anticipated cash, cash and investments on hand from 6/30 of last year, $5,661,187. Current year budgeted surplus, $818,256.43, less our fund balance appropriations, $510,396. Expected cash and investments on hand of 6/30 of this year, $5,969,047.43, less our PNC investment account of $2,374,210.29, leaves an expected cash available on 6/30/2023, $3,594,837.14. U.S. bank account, bond funds, first there, the bond fund ending balance at the end of the month, $496,223.41. Debt service reserve fund, $1,794,015.24, for total bank proceeds at U.S. Bank, $2,290,238.65. Any questions on that one? All right. The next two pages, you'll have both the proposed changes, followed by a little breakdown of some of the changes highlighted. And I'm going to get some of the larger ones here. But first and foremost, kind of a brief recap. Total revenue increase on all of this. You'll see total revenue there, $407,910.48, against a total expense increase of $307,633.24. Brings, which is a difference of a projected surplus of $100,277. So the new projected surplus would be $918,533.76. Okay? I'm going to hit a couple highlights here. The revenue adjustments, the state was driven largely by additional allotment of EC student transfers, which really drove that line. $164,000 increase on the state line there. There's a decrease in school safety grant, so the decrease of $29,725. So the net difference on that line, $135,026.67. The local was increased, driven by revenue-generating activities, athletic clubs, fine arts, field trips, and other student activities. The total increase on this was $264,586.91. A small gain on the federal of $8,297 leaves total revenue increase, as mentioned before, $407,910.58. Next will be expense adjustments. Some of these, and I'll speak to these, were offset by some of the revenue increases, so you'll see those as well. Line one I want to touch on. This was actually a decrease, because of this was partial year salaries. Some of those positions were not filled for the entire year, so you'll see an adjustment there of $15,785. Line two was an increase. We had additional folks on the health insurance plan, so you'll see an increase of $36,733. Line three is the largest, books and supplies. This was an increase, but it was offset by local revenue. So the total increase here was $180,392. I'm going to skip down to the next larger one, was line six, contracted student services. Again, I got a partial offset here, but the total increase here was $42,393. Line 11, facilities. This was increased due to unexpected facility repairs that we've had across the campuses. Increase here of $32,300.23. So again, all the expenses, total expense here again, $307,633.24. The new projected surplus, as previously stated, $918,533. And you see our loan covenants. Debt service was an increase to 1.51 from 1.6. Days cash on hand remained the same at 132. Any questions? And this will need to be approved.
Any comments or questions? Most of the big changes are kind of linked together, so, but in the end, we're in a better position, so that's good.
I make a motion to approve the revisions to the budget as presented.
Second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. The revised budget is approved. Thank you. Is that it?
That's it.
Thank you. 6B, Head of School Report.
Good evening again. First, we have the compliance submission report. So items we had to submit to the Office of Charter Schools was the school performance score and letter grade. The overall school performance score and letter grade must be prominently displayed on the school's website in accordance with GS 115C 218.65, and we have made sure that is done and was submitted in Epicenter. Next, the board nepotism policy. The nonprofit board has a current nepotism policy that complies with the state law and the most recent charter agreement, and that was submitted on 3/15. And the criminal board history check policy. The nonprofit board has a criminal history check policy that mirrors the LEA in which the school is located. That was submitted on 2/28. And we did not have anything required to submit to DAC about our bond loans. Next, we have the enrollment report. We have 648 students at the elementary campus, 632 at the middle school campus, and 538 at the high school campus, with a total enrollment of 1818. And our lottery applications are over 1,400 as of today.
That's great.
So I have the withdrawal report there for you. And it's mostly families that have had a job change or they have moved. The last report I have for you is the personnel report that will need to be approved. So at the elementary campus, we have hired Jennifer Hedgepath to take an interim 4th grade position till the end of the year. At the middle school, we have hired Elizabeth Cooper. She's an interim 5th grade math and science teacher through the end of the year. And at the high school, we have added a part-time, I think it's called multi-language learner teacher now. It used to be ESL, English language learners, but they've changed that. But Michelle Pazula Jimenez, she came to us with experience in high school, and she is serving high school. And our other ESL teacher, Anna Matthews, is basically at the middle school. So we are grateful to have them.
Any questions or comments about the personnel report? This needs approval. Do I hear a motion?
Motion to approve the personnel report.
Second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? The personnel report is approved. Thank you.
All right, so our staff representatives have a few things to say. Ms. Cade?
We're grateful to all of our parents and families who have gave and to support the PTO and the Booster-thon for our new playground. The children are all excited to have 2 playgrounds to play on now. So thank them.
Yeah, it's great. I hear the twisty slide is really something. My 6-year-old this morning, she's like, I wish we could play on it again today.
Oh, I might have to go try that out. Ms. Starnes?
We've got a few things we're proud of, starting with we had 329 kids that either made all A's or A's and B's and were awarded our Patriot Pride celebration this after the first semester. They were given a T-shirt and some honors, so we're really happy about that and hoping our ACTs went very well, so we're hoping that that's going to pay off there. We finished Q3 strong, so we've just had that. And we also had a fun day entertaining the 8th graders that came over on Wednesday. We had a group of ambassadors who are juniors and seniors that took the kids around, and we had a lot of fun in the classroom too, with our doors open, and they were peeking in, and the kids were really, really nice to them. And I even had a nice comment from you earlier that the kids really enjoyed having the ambassadors do it. We didn't have teachers doing it, the juniors and seniors did, and they had a really good time doing that. We're just getting ready for the end of the year. The administration has met with the kids and had meetings with them, grade level meetings, to try and push for this last little bit because spring fever's coming, so we're working on that. Our prom closet was a success. We had a lot going on this month. That's one of our special projects that Ms. Howell takes care of that is really, really good. The girls can come over and try on dresses. We had over 100 dresses that they can borrow and go to the prom, so I think that's really nice for us to do. And our counselors are registering for next year, so we're gearing up to finish out the year. Had a good month.
Great, thank you.
Yes, thank you. So on the calendar, we have the lottery will be held April 3rd at 1 o'clock. We will live stream it. Spring break is April 7th through the 14th. I hope everybody has fun plans. Our next board meeting will be April the 18th, and April 21st will be the prom. And that's all I have today.
Great, thank you. 6C Enrichment Committee, Ms. Largent couldn't be with us tonight. They did not meet. There's no report there. 6D Athletics Committee, Mr. Tharp.
Okay, the Athletics Committee had our first meeting with myself as the chair of that committee on March 8th. And Mr. Weiss and Mr. Radford advised that by the end of the year, the uniform purchases will all be up to date. There was some concern expressed about the impact of higher umpire and referee fees on the athletics budget, so that's something that we'll have to keep an eye on. Two kind of longer term items that were discussed were number one, the availability of cashless entry payments for parents and visitors to athletic events. I think what was decided is we'll monitor that on the theater arts front because I understand the theater program has already implemented a cashless option. So kind of see how that goes and look at ways we could potentially implement that at athletics events in the future. And the last item that we discussed was putting some bleachers on the athletics field that would greatly help visitors to comfortably enjoy outdoor athletic events at the high school campus. And I believe Mr. Radford was going to get some quotes for that. But that was it on the athletics front.
Great.
In March.
Just a comment. I think we've explored those bleachers in the past, and we talked to Tom Bakke about it, and there was some concern that if we put bleachers in, we might have to put toilets down there. And then he was going to check for us, like how close the bleachers were to the bathrooms that are on the back of the school now, and to see if those would be okay. And I don't think we ever got anything back from him on that, did we?
We can follow back up with him. I know I had Dale go out and measure. I think it had to be 120 feet, something like that. But we can double check it. We think we're going to be fine. We just have to make sure the placement is the correct distance from the bathrooms. We will make sure we find that out.
I think if we overcome that hurdle, everything should fall into place so that could happen.
Yeah, and making sure that those guidelines are still the same and valid, right? Or do we know that?
Yeah, I mean, it's a code. So.
They are still the same, okay.
Yeah, we just have to make sure we follow the guideline, have it close enough.
Okay. Thank you. 6E Facilities Committee, Ms. Malden.
I have a new plan to present, so I don't know if we want to go back down to the front like we did last time.
Feel free.
anybody to shrink it in a little bit? Yeah. There we go.
Okay.
Okay, that's perfect. Okay, so we met with Dixon Animal Clinic last week, so you know they're right there on the corner. You know, obviously they're aware of what's coming, and so we wanted to make sure that what we were doing was, you know, we have to get their blessing because we share that road. And then I also knew that they were planning this addition to their building, and so I wanted to see how that was going to impact everything too. So it was a great meeting. They were so open to talking with us and sharing information, like how can we make this work for both of us? Because obviously our traffic is a problem for them. We don't feel it as much from them, but you know what I'm saying. So if you look at the top left, our architect kind of took their new plan and overlaid it on ours. So you can see that orange part is going to be a new addition onto the back of their building, and then they're also renovating their parking lot. So they're going to have another entrance and more parking in the back there. So right now their employees park over on the side where Tittman is. So all of that behind there will be parking, and they'll have another entrance right there. So that will be a little bit different. So after we talked to them and kind of worked through some different scenarios, one option is they're going to potentially start their appointments at 8:15, which will, you know, we're done at 8 o'clock. It gives them a little bit, I think they've had some angry customers. That prevents that. You know, even though what we're doing could help, they just thought maybe that would be a better option too. But after we talked to them about specifically the shared road, the idea was maybe to not bring in the 7-8 side onto the shared road. So bring it up to where you enter up here where everybody exits now, and then we create a snake to come through and then back out onto Tittman, which will be a right turn only. So there will be a little, what's the technical term for that traffic triangle thing? Island. Where you can turn in right from Tittman, and then you have to turn right out. So that's kind of a one-way thing. And buses will come in that way too, and they can come into the circle like they do now. It'll just be a little bit, they'll have to hop into the traffic line. So that kind of alleviates two problems. Once this is all done, you know, it backs up on the Tittman back into New Hope a lot of the times. So that will keep a lot of traffic off of Tittman and then free up that shared space where their customers can still get in, because in the afternoons they can't get in. So on the 5th, 6th side, there's not a whole lot that's different. So this will eventually, you guys know, a few years from now, be how we have to get in. Another little island's going to be right here. So you have to take a right turn. You'll come in, so it'll be backwards from the way it is now. So you'll come in, drop off, and then loop back around, right turn only, back onto New Hope. The biggest difference is obviously the 7-8 side snake is an addition, but when we started redoing this to help kind of alleviate some of that traffic on the shared road, the outdoor play area was added. So we had talked about, that was one of Ms. Richards' requests early on, was that 5th grade had a space for recess. And it doesn't have to be just recess. We could maybe do lunch out there. I don't know. It has a lot of purposes, but that would be some extra green space for us to help it look less like a Winn-Dixie and more like a school, and just kind of a better option than what we had before. Anybody have any thoughts? Questions?
It's about a third of an acre out there, right?
Yeah.
For the outdoor.
And fenced, he said. Obviously, I think we probably have to do that, but.
Do you know how many parking places will be out there?
141.
Perfect.
So everybody's going to turn right out of the 7th, 8th grade side.
Yeah.
That's probably not going to make anybody happy.
No.
And there's only one line on each side, or will there be two like there is now?
There'll be two.
There'll be two.
Yeah. And we had talked last time about, you know, once we do this, obviously the road work will not be done.
But I do think it's important that we start this now and not change it again, because that would just be a nightmare. So Dr. Hovis and his team was a little concerned about how parents were gonna listen to that. So we talked a lot about how Ms. Richards videos herself driving in, you know, and we'll just have to do some signage, lots of education, that kind of thing. It's not gonna, you know, obviously be perfect. Hopefully by the time all of this is done, everybody will kind of be on board.
Can you walk through the timing of the 3 different projects?
3 different. Oh.
Dixon,
Yeah, so
us, and state?
Dixon broke ground last week, so they're already on their way. So I don't know what their scheduled date is. I would assume end of this year, maybe again next year, something like that. Our project would be this summer. So as soon as school gets out, and then of course it's got to be done by August 1st. And then the state would start, I mean, they're already, you know, have reached out about property lines and things like that. So I don't know exactly the day they're going to start construction, but they're well on their way. So I would think next year. So in my mind, it's going to be phased, best case scenario, really. I mean, if we can get all this done before all of that road construction starts, then we'll be so much better off than trying to do it at the same time. Anyone have any questions? Oh, one other thing we talked about that's not on here is striping the shared road. So Dr. Hovis is getting pricing from his contractor about making a turn lane in there. So it would be 3 lanes and making a turn lane in the middle for people that are trying to get in and out. I don't foresee that being a huge issue now that I look at all of this. There's that one little point of contention up there by their parking lot. You know, with everybody filing out, there's like a little crossover right there. So I think we would need it for sure right there, but excuse me. That was the only thing we just can't get around.
Currently, how are the 7th, 8th grade families getting out? Are they having to turn right now?
Well, you can turn left or right now, but what happens is Tittman is backed up past in the afternoon, it's just busy. So with people that are trying to turn left, the line gets backed up and then people can't get through. It just backs up the whole line. So by making it a right turn only, it's just gonna flow. So it is gonna be, I mean, people are gonna have to figure out, I don't know if you cut through Bethesda Oaks, you know, go through Jefferson Woods. I don't know, it's gonna be a thing, but.
They're gonna be turning around in that daycare and turning around in that church and getting right back on Tittman. That's what they will.
So,
And this will address the drainage in that back, behind the school too. We just got to make sure. We've got to fix drainage, because there's a lot of water back there when it rains.
yeah, he's,
From the back of the school to the road or somewhere.
the grading contractor will have to give us some input on that for sure. Kevin, yeah, once they start demo, and kind of getting back there, take a look at it.
Yeah, I think
Part of it's the
the
rate.
designer's pretty aware of that.
Okay.
It doesn't really show up as something on this plan, but he's indicated to me that you're probably going to have to put some kind of storm drainage back there and then push it out toward the road. This is a big change, you know, for this parking lot, because I think right now, is there even curb and gutter in this parking lot? I mean, it's basically just striping and it goes off asphalt into the grass. So this plan would have curb and gutter everywhere, and I think the addition of the outdoor area and the green space out front is just going to be a game changer for the building, because right now it's so bare and stark that it will change the entire complexion of the campus, I think. So I'm really happy to see that, and that the serpentine before seemed to make some sense with the cars traveling in the other direction, but now knowing that they've reversed that, they actually get the cars so that they're dropping off and picking up on the correct side of the car for the canopy.
Yeah.
by the reversal. And then also it means that you don't have to have that serpentine right there where we've got the green space. So to me, those are huge advantages to what's currently there.
So we just got this back today, so Ms. Richards hasn't seen it yet. I do want to make sure I get her feedback on that, but kind of get a feel from y'all tonight. Does this seem good? No? Y'all have feelings? I get a thumbs up right there. I'm also working on getting pricing. I've gotten one quote. I'm working on some others, so I'll have that ready for next meeting so we can, vote to move forward. If y'all don't have any questions, I'm done with that part. If you think of anything, feel free to shoot me a note or give me a call. I really am glad that we met with Dr. Hovis and his team, because I don't know that we would have come up with this if we didn't. So it was good just to have all those. It was a lot of people. We were in one little exam room. But we made it work, and it was just nice to see how excited they were for it too. So that's all I got. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Great, thank you. All right, 6F, Governance Committee.
Governance Committee, Jen has completed her work on reviewing the personnel report. We haven't had an opportunity yet to meet in committee to go over the personnel manual. So we're planning on doing that in the next month, and then we'll bring it to the board before June.
Great, thank you. Any other new business? All right, next board meeting, April 18th, back here at 7 p.m. Thanks, everyone. We stand adjourned.
Thank you.